Welcome to your official headquarters for the Ghana Premier League right here on Star Times Channel 247, also showing on our partner network, Max TV. It's a beautiful day, no doubt about it, and we have another special package for you. In fact, packages for the rest of the day beginning now. Jude Acheampong, of course, the prof, bumper to bumper, is here. But guess what? Who else is here? I don't even want to waste time. Jude, I'm just saying, cool. Now, let's meet our friend and our guest all the way from Japan, but based in Ghana with Cape Coast Ebusua and Dwarfs, the player Jindo Morishita. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Merasi.
Akwaba.
Merasi.
Or today, Bibi Aboko.
Boko.
All right. So Jindo has joined us, thankfully, came all the way from Cape Coast to join us for the program on the headquarters, and we're going to zoom in on him, and then also Ebusua and Dwarfs, as well as the matches that were played over the weekend, and perhaps those coming up. Jude, another breathtaking weekend of football, man.
I mean, we expected it. Everything that we wanted to see, we saw it, during the weekend that just passed. It was Titanic clash, blockbusters all over. And it started from the Enzima Derby way in Takwa. And you needed to be there. It was such a great game with a lot of tension, with a lot of anticipations. I mean, there were moments where you couldn't sit on your chair. It was as if the game was going to end in a draw, and then Midiama, took all 3 points just at the last hour. It was the tonic for a perfect weekend, and tell you what, it started giving everybody what we're expecting throughout the Saturday and the Sunday.
Absolutely, 50-50 at the top. The two top teams don't want to be separated. They're like twins,
Just a little bit of separations in between the two, and I'll tell you what. Hearts of Folk are on top. And you look at Hearts of Folk, they've won more matches than Kumasi and Asante Kotoko. Hearts of Folk have won 14. Kotoko have won 13. But again, Hearts of Folk have scored more goals than Kumasi and Asante Kotoko. Hearts of Folk have scored 38 goals. Kotoko themselves have scored 30 goals. But it is the defensive line that is where Kotoko are the better team here. Kotoko have only conceded 14 goals in 28 matches, whilst Hearts of Folk have conceded 19 goals. So that is where the difference is at. And again, Hearts of Folk are scoring in terms of, grand results. They are scoring two. And whenever Hearts of Folk score one and they take the lead, no team has been able to cancel that lead. It is only this Sunday that Olympics was able to cancel the lead that Hearts of Folk took. It has never happened since the coach took over.
And Jindo is here. I'll bring him in. Jindo Morishita plays for Ebusua and Dwarfs. And your next opponent is Ashgold. That's a tough game because they are beginning to feel the pressure of potential relegation. Ebusua and Dwarfs themselves, you guys are fighting relegation. Tell us about your previous game against Adriana, in which you won by 1-0, and how you're preparing to face Ashgold in your next game.
Yeah, thank you very much. As you've mentioned, it's a tough situation for us. We're fighting the relegation right now. The game against Adriana, we won 1-0. The team, although I didn't play because the coach wanted to give me a bit of rest because of the FA Cup. But the team stood well. They stood really strong. Our vice captain Simon, he scored a very good goal, and we were preparing very well for the coming game against Ashgold, which is going to be in Obuasi. And I've experienced, away games in Ghana is really tough, so we need to be strong enough to prepare.
What is it about the away games that makes it extra difficult?
I would say one main factor would be the supporters, of the opponent team. They sometimes they come to us with an intimidating attitude, But we need to be strong enough, and we just need to perform what we've been doing, accumulated. So, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Absolutely. I mean, let's take some time to talk about Jindo. I mean, look, you're the first Japanese to play in the Ghana Premier League. That in itself, when I saw the announcement, first of all, I was like, okay, hey, wait a minute. Tell us about that journey and why you chose Ghana and what's brought you to our part of the world to play the Ghana Premier League.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Well, actually, before coming to Ghana, I was actually playing in the Zambian Premier League. The name is FC Musa. And And I was always interested in building a professional career in Africa as one of the very fewest Japanese, or I would say the Asian players. And looking at the African soccer in general, like I know it's obvious, and we all know that Ghana is one of the most competitive and the high-level sides in Africa. And so I was searching for these connections in Ghana, and fortunately, I was able to find connections with one of my good friends in Japan. And he had a good connection with Coach Ali, who runs his own academy in Cape Coast. And he was the one who connected me to Ebusua Dwarfs, and that's how I was able to join the team.
How are you finding it so far, and especially adjusting to the type of football we play here in Ghana?
Yeah, I would say based on my experience in Zambia as well, I know that African football is really physical, very competitive. And, when they look at you, especially when you're an Auburn player, they come really hard on you. So.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, especially the game against Sky FC, we were down 2-0, the FA Cup.
Right.
I was surprised how the lower division side play,
So the lower division sides actually are even more robust.
Quite often, yeah.
Because they want to show you that they're around.
Yeah.
What experience, how did you find that experience?
I mean, it's tough. It's not easy always. Competitive football, professional football, it's not easy anywhere in the world. But especially, I would say the difficulties and the challenges I have when it comes to African football is not only what's on the pitch, but outside the pitch, adapting to the climate, the food. Although I like fufu, but like the food, cultures, everything is very different from Japan. So these things I need to try to adapt all in general, yeah.
I'm sure you're finding it fun as well. Apart from the cultural aspects, the people you've met and all the rest of it, it adds to your CV. Are you planning to continue to build on that CV here in Ghana?
Yeah, since I've only appeared in a few games here, I respect the coach and I believe on his strategy. He's trying to gel, give him time to gel with the league and the environment. But obviously, I cannot leave this country with only these few games I played so far. I need to score goals. I want to contribute to the team and the league as well. So hopefully, I'll be playing in Ghana for the coming season as well. And let's see how it goes.
Awesome. And I'm sure Jude, traveling around, and also you've watched him play a few times. He's confessed that it's been very tough physically as well, very robust. But it's good for the league to have a Japanese coming in to also show us his brand of football and learn Ghana's brand of football.
Exactly. We need a lot of foreign players to, infuse their skill and their culture into ours. It makes the league so accommodating, so nice to be around with. But you see, one thing about Jindo Morishita is I watched him when he made his debut for Ebusua Dwarfs. It was a game against 11 Wonders at the Cape Coast Stadium. And you could see that game when he came on. The coach wanted him to perform. He was, able to perform. He played so well with his pace and that skill. He was so good, a delight to watch on that day. But of course, the thing is that he did not start the season with the Ebusua Dwarfs.
Right. No preseason.
He came, in the middle of the season, and look at him. Anytime he gets the ball, he's so good that he's so good that he creates those moments where defenders are panicking. That's what we want to see. Unfortunately for him, I don't know why Coach Ernest Thompson-Cottee have not played him so much, because he makes room and
maybe he's protecting him.
he needs the golden moments to show his quality, and that is why you would want to say, look at him here, good on the ball, has a lot of pace, can wiggle his way through. It is not just about that. His confidence to move around the ball, that's what makes him a good player, and you would want to see him more. He's a diminutive stature, but look, you give him a yard, he takes more than a yard, and you would want to see him more in such games. Dwarfs themselves in the last 5 matches have not won a single away game, not even a draw. They've lost all 5. And this is the time you should have confidence in him and give him the time and the chance to show the stuff he's made of.
I'm sure the coach is watching and he's quite aware of that. But interestingly, Jindo says he respects the coach and his plans hopefully they make it. They're not relegated, and he stays to mathematically it's a bit dicey. You won your last game. You need at least another win or two.
In fact, they don't need another 1 or 2. They need about 3 or 4 to stay comfortable in the Ghana Premier League. And once again, Jindo Morishita, after he left Netherlands and went to Indonesia, he made a comment saying he wants to be one of the Asian players who comes to Africa and make those golden moments that, he will be respected upon. I mean, we'll say there was a Japanese who came into Ghana and helped Ebusua Dwarfs, escape relegation. And he will have probably 1 or 2 goals that will cement his name in the golden books.
We're watching a training session here, and I was asking you before we came on air, the difference. Obviously, in Japan, in Holland, and other, you have the infrastructure. And how are you coping with how hard, tough, and rugged it is here?
Well, as you can see from the video, the pitch, it's international quality. But all these things, we need to respect, and it's not only us who are, I would say the word suffering, but it's always important to try to adapt, and it's a type of football, in Africa. It's different from the type of football in Japan, but it's not which one is good or bad, but it's the football here, it's the environment here. So I always need to respect as an outsider, and just as the local players, I need to work hard to just contribute to the team.
Awesome. All right, we'll still move on. There's a lot to talk about, obviously, at the weekend. How are you finding the battle for the top and the battle for the, to keep out of relegation? You're in the battle for the bottom. But how are you finding Kotoko, Hearts, Olympics? I'm sure you're wondering, wow, these clubs are really, there it is. There's Cape Coast Ebusua Dwarfs. So you're not safe at all. You need to win a few more matches. How tough is it? How tense is it in camp? And how intense are your preparations to stave off relegation?
Sure. Obviously the top team, the teams that, for example, Asante Kotoko, all the teams up there, they're really good, they're strong. But as far as I know that I experienced, there's no too much of a difference, in terms of quality, Even our midfields in our team, we have really good midfields. We know how to pass and move. But it's a matter of, I think, the quality of the preparation. And, it's about the commitment, how we bond as a team, And, all these things are, coming to the results. And it's always important to focus on each matches, The relegation comes as the result after the season finishes. So we just need to focus on each game we face, and then we'll see how it goes, and we'll see what the results come out.
Awesome. How do you spend time to relax when you're not playing, when you're not training? Where do you go? What do you do?
I often hang out with my teammates. I hit the gym for refreshing purpose as well. But, in Cape Coast, there's a lot of beach sides, really nice and relaxing. I also enjoy talking to the local supporters,
Right. You have a fan base there.
A lot, and I, Munsia fancy Gagra, so I talk to them in fancy as well,
Right.
and enjoy a lot, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so Jindo Morishita is going to stay with us for a little while, but what a weekend of football it was. Kotoko winning in Obuasi, and Hearts and Olympics sharing the spoils, Midiama winning. So the top 4-5 is looking quite, as we predicted, it could go to the wire. We hope it goes to the wire, Jude, don't
That's
we?
what we want to see. I mean, Ghana Premier League at its best. Look, let's give that respect, and I want to give 100, gunshot salute to Accra Olympics, Yaw. This season, they have managed, look at the top 4. They have managed to take away 4 points out of the 6 matches they've played with teams on top 4. And that's Accra Olympics. Look, if you play against Kumasi Asante Kotoko and you take 4 points out of 6, you play against Hearts of Folk, you take 4 points out of 6, you play against Midiama, 4 points out of 6, you are the real deal. And for me, that is what we are talking about. And Olympics, you could remember, I told you, they were really going to give Hearts of Folk a run for their money. They did not just give them a run for their money, but they showed them how good they are, Olympics as a team. In that 90 minutes that we saw, it was a grilling encounter. But Arno Walker, again, made up for small errors, came back into the game very strongly, the mentality, and you could see, the anger in those young chaps, even though they were missing Acheampong. For me, I thought if Samuel Acheampong had been on the field, the likes of Radio Voca would have had a hell of time.
Yeah.
But they had, those moments where they could have their free time and deliver crosses and play at the top because that man, Acheampong, wasn't there. But his brother made up for that wonderful header.
Yeah, a lot of character. Maxwell, Acheampong showed a lot of character, not just him, but his teammates to respond to a Hearts of Oak side that perhaps are playing the best football in the GPL at the moment. But hold on to your horses. Let's go for a quick break on the GPL headquarters. When we come back, we continue. Jindo Morishita is here. So too is the Prof, Jude Acheampong. We'll be back in just a second.
Through a dedication to design, a unique experience is born. When light hits the surface, no trace of glare appears on the low reflection flat screen. A narrow trim encases next level television technology, and sensational sound waves reach further. Entertainment is exhibited standing or hanging. Through an obsession to 360 degrees aesthetics and a fascination with craftsmanship. TCL C825 Mini LED 4K TV. TCL.
Sports Drive on Max 89.7 FM, your ultimate late afternoon show packaged with music, trivia, star guests, giveaways, and health updates, plus your views on anything that matters to you. Sports Drive with me, Yaw Ampofo-Ankrah, and your number one DJ La Posta every Wednesday at 3 p.m.
Welcome back. It's your official centre for the Ghana Premier League, the GPL headquarters, the only league that matters. And indeed, it's looking like it's going to be right down to the wire. So far, with the top teams refusing to budge, closing in. We were talking about Olympics, before the break, but Hearts of Oak put up a splendid attacking performance that we've not seen from them in a while. So perhaps we should also give credit to the philosophy of Coach Boedu. Remember his first interview when he took charge? He talked about his philosophy. Are we finally seeing that now?
Well, of course, his philosophy is all attacking. And Hearts of Oak are not conceding that much. Since he took over, he's had a very solid back line. I mean, we talk about coaches who can close a game with just one goal. And he is that coach who can, close games after he's taking the lead. When he came to Hearts of Oak as a coach, he has not scored a goal in a game for a team to probably come back, equalize, and beat him. Nobody has done that. Not even Accra Olympics, who are in such a terrific form, who are having a season on their own. Since Boedu took over Hearts of Oak, Hearts has been more deadly in front. I mean, Kojo Obi Jr. is a new, striker altogether. Yes, Victor Edu has not been bagging the goals, but players around Isaac Mensah, Michel Sapot, every player is bagging the goals. And as well in midfield, there is Salifu, there is Afutu, They are all scoring. They are all creating chances. And
The
for me,
chemistry is there.
it is there for you to see what Buedu is doing. If you have a solid backline and your midfielders and attackers are banging in the goals, that's where it is. Now, they win 2-0, clean sheets. They were winning clean sheet upon clean sheet. They could even travel away from their Craftsman Stadium and
1-0.
go and win 1-0, tighten it up, close it up, and they come back with all 3 points. That is a great coach. And if you have started the season very well with this House of Folk side, I'm sure they will be miles ahead. But again, if you talk about House of Folk, talk about Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Yeah,
Not playing fantasy football, but getting the results when they have to.
exactly. Kotoko are the only team who have suffered the most in terms of other issues in the Ghana Premier League. I mean, talk about them playing home away from home.
They've not had a home game this season.
Exactly. That is on one side. Again, in the Ghana Premier League, look at House of Folk. How many of the House of Folk players have even gone to the national team? In the main Black Stars, Kotoko at a point in time had 5. So their contribution, the players moving from here back and forth, has helped Kotoko. As of now, as we talk, none of the Ghana Premier League players, our teams, have more players in the Black Stars than Kumasi Asante Kotoko. So they are always losing players. This week, they will play without Razak Abalora. They will play without Ganiu. They will play without their goalkeeper's trainer, their physio. So even when players get injured,
So it's not just-
Kotoko, like I am saying, are the team that has suffered the most in terms of other problems around the GPL. And their coach, Mariano Barreto, has been able to have a team that, many times they want to grind results. They want to play well. They've not been that scintillating in terms of brilliant play and players banging in the goals. You look at their top strikers, and they're not scoring the way we want them to score. I mean, Taylor has been a pale shadow. Look at Augustine Okai. He started very well. Now injury has taken over him. He's had a dip in form. I mean, Andy Kumi can't score when he starts. So he's having barrage of problems. But that man, Mariano Barreto, is doing something wonderfully well to grind the results. He did well against Ashanti Gold.
Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere was brilliant, obviously, before kickoff. And, of course, the two sides were saying all manner of things, predictions. We kept hearing 2-0. Hearts of Oak fans were convinced they'll win by 2-0. Interestingly, so were Olympic fans. Let's go to enjoying the game and take a look at that first goal scored by Accra Hearts of Oak. I mean, that storm of a goal.
It was a belter.
Can win any, season goal of the season award.
Yeah, he could. And it reminds me of Mohamed Gago. He scored a similar goal for the Black Stars in one of the Cup of Nations, and he was going up and down. He was throwing the hands like this. Emmanuel Nete, he's the maestro. I mean, he has such power. Look at him here. Bang. It has so much power behind it.
Even when you slow it down, it's still fast. He's fortunate because the referee could have put sand in his Gary. If the referee had spotted the infringement and blown, his goal would not have stood. And that would have been unfortunate.
Okay, so let's go back. Slowly here. Let's hold it here. I mean, before the goalkeeper made that punch, let's take
Stop it there?
Yeah, stop it there.
So the goalkeeper is down, but because it happened so far, let's go back again and take a look at the incident where the keeper collided.
Yes, that's where I want us to look at first. The corner kick from Salifu. Yes, hold it here. I mean, let's go back a little bit. If your director can just take it back a little bit.
Okay, let's keep on watching it.
Okay, so the goalkeeper made a punch. But before he made the punch, you look at the elbow of Afutu going straight into the face. And on any day, that would be a free kick. Advantage the goalkeeper, especially in the 16-yard box. Okay.
It happened so fast, the referee couldn't have seen it.
Well, of course, there were a lot of players here. I mean, let's hold it here. If we could be able to hold it here, we'll see that elbow from Afutu. Yes, here. And it was so quick. You look at the position of the referee. In good position, but because there were a lot of players around the goalkeeper, he couldn't spot it. But, of course, kudos to Emmanuel Nete. He had the vision, he had the power, and to blast such a ball through plenty of legs and bodies in the 18-yard box. Yeah, it is a great goal by any standard.
We've witnessed some fantastic goals. I know Hearts themselves where the victims of a goal from, was it Inter Allies in the first round?
Yeah.
A sizzler.
Yeah, that was from the former Inter-Allies captain, Richmond Lamptey. And what a goal it was, just in front of the center line. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take a look at the equalizer in a moment, but at that point, you've lost your goalkeeper, you're down by a goal, it looks like Hearts of Oak are on the ascendancy, the crowd is roaring. It had to take some character for Olympics to dare come back in that game.
You're right, and especially when anytime Samuel Bueru takes the lead, teams have found it difficult to come back. It was a Herculean task for Olympics, but how Adon Walker did it.
Tactically, what happened? How did he do that?
Okay, so all I had to do, he has to make some couple of changes. He brought in Mudasiru, the tormentor-in-chief, because he needed to equalize that goal. And Mudasiru, obviously, will put pressure on the back line of Accra Hearts of Oak. Then, of course, you still have the danger man, Maxwell Abekwe, also lurking. If you see, Abekwe then was moving from right to left. He wasn't staying in one place. And he made sure the Olympics defenders, those playing on the left and the right flanks, were quicker with their crosses. And so they made sure Hearts of Oak were not going to relax. They were putting pressure. They were making sure they get the ball in the 80-yard box of our Hearts of Oak. Here was a typical mistake. And you could see Olympics, and that was at the right back. Yeah, the right back of Olympics made, he crossed that center line and was putting pressure on Ovuka. And Ovuka lost that ball.
That was one of the few times that the right back had any luck because Ovuka was totally on top of his game on Sunday.
Yes, but because...
Offensively and defensively.
Exactly. But if you are a team and you are disciplined and you listen to what your coach tells you, you always want to push.
I'll bring Jindo in after you here. But here, there's no danger.
Yes.
There's absolutely no danger. But what Maxwell...
Now, great header. But let's look at the movement of Maxwell Abbey, just even before the cross. When Ovuka had the ball, they all thought, oh, we're not going to get the ball anymore. So if you look at his body language, he was even trekking back to support. You look at him here. He would just change direction.
Can we pause it here? Can we pause it here?
Oh, if you could go back and pause it here.
Right.
Just before the cross came in. His body language was, okay, let me go back and defend.
The Hearts of Oak defenders were doing absolutely the right thing. They had enough numbers. Modesiru was well taken care of. But I think because Modesiru was on, they took...
Let's hold it here, yeah. Even before Radio Voca lost that ball.
No danger.
No danger. And look at Maxwell Abbey. His body language was like, oh, we've lost that ball. Let me go back and defend. Then he saw that defender, Charles Danso, steal that ball away from Ovuka. Then we'll see
a rare mistake.
A rare mistake. And we'll see how he adjusts himself, not only with the body.
Who's marking Maxwell? Is that Razak?
That's Patrick Razak. And look at Razak. He's looking at where the ball was.
Instead of his player.
Instead of the player. But here, Razak felt that, Ovuka had won the ball because he had, an advantage over Danso. So let's roll forward a little bit and you see how the movement will change here.
In seconds, it changes because then now Maxwell moves into an offensive position because here he can't do any damage.
No.
And
so
there's only one. Well, there are two people, Modesiru and Maxwell for Danso to cross to.
Exactly. So let's take let's move steadily. Let's move. If the director can just play on a little bit. Now look at Abbey here. He spots that Danso has stolen the ball away from Radio Voca. And then his body language changed. Now he was quick and he had to even adjust his body to even get a clear header on the ball, outwitting Patrick Razak and that move. So let's release Danso.
But he still had a lot of work to do to ensure the header would beat the goalkeeper and the way he headed it downwards.
Look at him. He was going one direction but had to adjust himself through another direction before he could get a clear header with power to beat goalkeeper Richard Atta. Here, you see him going that direction. As if he was going to beat the ball. He changes another direction and bang. Perfect header.
There's not much the Hearts defense could have done because Razak here was supposed to even, well, if he grabs him, it's a penalty.
Of course. And he knew he was late. He knew, Maxwell Abbey had taken that lead in terms of that moment.
Jindo, strikers, when there's the instinct, we always talk about instinct and anticipation. Mm-hmm. When do you sniff that a goal? And what must you do when you get that opportunity?
Well, first of all, the instincts comes, the moment comes from when the opponent teams or the players makes mistakes. That's when there's there's the most chances of scoring goals for us, you know. Especially for a striker like me, I'm not like a physical striker, like a number 9, but I always run in the space, you know, have the I would say this strategy to beat
the movements, right.
the movements between the defenders. So from my observation, that was a perfect goal from the striker. You know, as you said, how he changed his direction after he saw that the cross was perfect. That's a big applause for me.
Okay, so take us through here. At this stage, you'll be thinking there's not much he can do, but then the anticipation was very good.
Very good, yeah.
Why was it necessary for him to hit the ball down on the turf before, you know, why not straight?
Well, I think, for us, it's always, first, the top priority is to hit the target for us. You know, always the shot needs to be on the target. But when they bounce the ball, it's always difficult for the goalkeepers to react or to save it. So considering the pitch conditions and the quality of the cross, I think he decided to bounce it on the head. So,
But yeah, let me help you here. I mean, you saw that cross. It was hanging in. The goalkeeper couldn't come for it. But you look at the stature of Richard Atta, very tall.
Huge.
If you had headed it straight at him, he might have a fingertip save. But because of that, you needed to, you know, distort the movement of the goalkeeper. And as clever as Maxwell Ashiabi was, he had that ball on the ground, you know, making the goalkeeper confused. He couldn't go down or up before he realized he had hit the turf and bang at the top of the corner of the goalpost. So he was beaten. He had gone, if he had hit that ball straight at him, he might probably parry that ball or have a great save on it. And hey, everybody will be talking about Richard Atta instead of Maxwell Abi. But so intelligent, he needed that moment, and he knew after he adjusted himself, facing the goalpost, he needed to head that ball just to confuse the movement of the goalkeeper, and it was a great header.
And of course, Kotoko had earlier won their game against, who did they play against in Obuasi? Ashko. They won that game, the Ashanti Derby, by a goal to nil. We'll take a look at, what's his name's goal? Gama, Fabio Gama's goal. But let's also take a look at another coach who seems to have passed that, you know, dangerous, you know, before Bashir Hayford. Let's take a look at Fabio Gama. The goal he scored and the movement. We talk again about his movement, how he was able to get the goal in because of his movements.
I mean, first of all, we will have to give thumbs up to Patrick Asma, like we did for Charles Danso with a brilliant, perfect, tailor-measured, you know, cross. The same way Patrick Asma, look at him here. He sends in a delicious cross, and the Ashanti goal defenders were caught ball watching. They never thought he could locate Gama, who had moved into space. And Gama, who had, you know, had been waiting for that perfect cross. And Gama was having a clear view, you know, just look at Gama here. After Asma got that ball, if you could hold it here. I mean, if you could go back a little bit, you will see how perfect that Kotoko goal was.
He still had work to do.
Yes, because he needed to be brave. He needed to have a clear view of the ball as to where the goalkeeper was standing for him to not hold. Let's hold it here. Oh, just before Gama took that header and just before that cross came in. Here. Yes, let's hold it here. I mean, I wanted us to have a good view as to the movement of Gama and the work that he did before heading that ball at the back of the net. Before Asma got that ball, there were 4 defenders of Ashanti Gold in there. But Gama, looking at that cross, anticipated that, look, there was a gap in between 2 defenders, the 4 and 5, between Akoto and Richard Osajimai. So he went straight into that gap, waiting for that cross. Again, he needed to be brave because Richard Osajimai was closing in, but he needed to be there, and bang, it was straight into the net.
I mean, you know, Gama has said on a couple of occasions that he's also had issues with the physicality of the game, so he's had to adapt. You notice that? I mean, you've watched him play a few times.
No,
What do you think of him?
I mean, Gama is a good friend of mine. Even yesterday after this goal, I chatted with him, you know, on WhatsApp and said that was a beautiful goal for him. And then, yeah, he also told me, he shared his story that in the first half of the league, you know, it was also hard for him to adapt to the league, you know, the physicality and everything. But, you know, he worked hard to adapt. And then now look at him in the second half of the league. He's performed very well. And hopefully I'll be like him as well, you know. Yeah.
Interesting. So what extra work do you have to do to build up that strength?
I think it's a matter of, no, not like, I've been doing enough of gym work, but I think it's a matter of communication and making your teammates understand how you want to play, you know. I've been talking to the coach, my teammates more oftenly, and I'm seeing they're trying to understand more of my movement, and the coach is trying to let me play with the starting lineups as well. So it's a matter of time, I guess, you know, and we'll see.
Absolutely. Okay, there's another coach, as we said, on the radar. He was on the verge of being dismissed if the rumours are anything to go by. Coach Bashir Hayford, at a point, just around the start of the second round, we were told, would vacate his post. It didn't happen. And most have said that decision perhaps is the one that has helped them stay in the, well, so far it looks like they'll stay in the Ghana Premier League. He's put together a run of results that has basically, look at that, for Legon Cities, a side that, you know, was fighting against relegation. Look at that.
He has, you know, fully resurrected the dead limbs in Legon Cities. And that's the mark of a good coach. I mean, I stand for correction, yeah, but he is the most experienced coach in the Ghana Premier League. And you must expect a change in tactics, a change in attitude, a change in, you know, philosophy. And that's exactly what he's done with this Legon City side. For every player in the Legon City team, there were players that if you could match them against probably, you know, players from Midiema or players from Adriana or players from Kotoko, you would say they are below par. But he has put in all their problems behind them. And they are playing as a unit, as a team. And they are really, really difficult to break them down. I mean, you look at them playing away from home, and they are now a very solid bunch of a squad to beat.
This unfortunate incident, of course, you know, the goalkeeper had to be substituted after that collision with Fatal Dauda coming on. But there was concerns that the referee didn't act swiftly enough. I think the concern and the welfare of play is always important. The game continued, and Fatal Dauda's first piece of action was a delicate one. But, you know, Legon Cities were in the mood to get the 3 points.
And that man who had that shot, Richmond Entry, he has been in phenomenal form for them. I mean, he's been scoring, and you look at his contributions for Legon Cities, he's been up there. He has been the key man in the absence of Hans Kofi and Asamoah Gyan. And probably when Adebayo has not turned up, that man, Richmond Entry, has been, you know, that super striker for them. Again, they were missing so many key players, and them grinding results like this. Oh, my word. Legon Cities are the team to watch. Anytime you play against them, you must be, you know, up and doing. Other than that, they might surprise you.
The question, though, Jude, what has changed? It's the same coach, same players. So what has changed?
I mean, you change as a coach when things are not working well. It's the same players. If you had probably brought in a new coach and they suddenly start winning, we might say the coach did the magic, isn't it? Now, the same coach sat down, and after he was lambasted on this show, he sat down and then understand what we were saying.
Was he lambasted?
Well, we taught him what was right. We taught him what he could have done.
We gave our opinions,
okay.
Especially you.
Okay, yeah, he told me I lambasted him though.
No, coach, we don't lambast. We just like to say it as it is, and sometimes, and it's one point. I mean, let's look at those matches left for Legon Cities. Okay. It's interesting that, you know, when we offer views purely on a football basis of what we see, people, you know, get they're not happy about it. But you know, we're here to make sure that we add value to whatever we do, and it's not personal, it's not, you know, negativity. It's about observation and also contributing to the game. We all want the game to be better. So the opinions that we share and the views that we give analysis is not personal at all. And I don't think Jude will lambast you. I'm sure he was just a bit harsh. Jude is a bit harsh sometimes. But these are the games Legon Cities have left to scale through the rest of the season. And on paper, they look tricky, but with their recent form, they shouldn't be panicking at all.
Not at all, yeah. Against Karela, then you know, say it's a difficult game. Karela themselves are finding it difficult winning at home. They could go there and surprise them. the West for Lagos Cities could be a draw. And even if they lose that game, they come back and play Accra Hearts of Folk. It's a big game. And I'm sure they'll be playing with everything they've got, Lagos Cities. And that game, because of the form of Hearts of Folk, it's a little bit difficult for them. Hearts of Folk, obviously, the favorite for that one. But look at it. They'll play King Faisal. It's a game they can even win at the Ohineamea Park in Techima. Then they come and play Bechem, who are not good travelers themselves and who are struggling for form. So King Faisal, Bechem, and 11 Elmina Sharks are those games Lagos Cities can scale through and sit comfortably, probably in the middle of the Ghana Premier League.
Okay. Jindo is here with us. He'll stay because I know you guys want to call in and talk to him. And then we'll also look at maybe Ebusua Dwarfs' next 5 games, see what their chances are. But let's go for a quick break. When we return, we'll activate the phone lines so you can also contribute your quota. Jindo, Morishita, as well as Prof. Jude Acheampong, still here with us. It's the headquarters for the Ghana Premier League. We'll be right back.
Through a dedication to design, a unique experience is born. When light hits the surface, no trace of glare appears on the low reflection flat screen. A narrow trim encases next level television technology, and sensational sound waves reach further. Entertainment is exhibited standing or hanging. Through an obsession to 360 degrees aesthetics and a fascination with craftsmanship. TCL C825 Mini LED 4K TV. TCL.
Ebusua for Damasi, see a buy and chair na maji atum. Yedin chake say anything Max 89.7 FM and a bremo. Within the Nana Dakwa Jesse. Efi Juada Ekosi Fiada. Abo Nundu Ekosi Dumino. With a good year somewhere to do Max Sports Park Airbro. And the 24 Kuku die and a Bebo Fia. Mama Bobo in Semeni. It's in the cow say Max Sports Park Abba Abetna. Max 89.7 FM.
Okay, welcome back. The phone lines will be activated in just a second. Well, they have been. Jindo Morishita is also here with us. You have a lot of fans in Ghana. I mean, the messages that I'm getting, personally, I'm sure a few of them would ask. Your next match is against Ash Gold. Tough game.
Tough game in Obuasi, yeah.
You guys prepared?
Yeah. I mean, we're preparing, after the winning game. Although we won, we're still in a difficult situation. So we need to keep strong and then work hard for the coming games.
What was the key for you guys going into that game in Obuasi? Ash Gold themselves do need the points. It's going to be very cagey.
Very tough, yes. Well, I believe the coach is going to try his best and he's planning to get the 3 points, although it's going to be a tough game aways. And hopefully, at least we need to collect 1 point. And we'll see how it goes. It's my first time to play against this team, but I've been to the Obuasi Stadium there. It's a nice stadium, and I hope we can play more in the passing. So we'll see. Nana
Sambu But I can spot there. I mean, it's a Japanese community. Tell us more about that and how you've also been doing a lot of work in Ghana since you came here. Yeah.
Well, he's my owner, but also one of the supporting companies, Zen Power, that's his own company, and they're collaborating with a Japanese Sumitomo company, so that's why I've been taken good care by the Japanese people. But outside the football, as a player, I'm also a licensed coach. I coach kids in Cape Coast in academy, as I said before.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I also work tight with the Japanese Football Association. So I really look forward how to collaborate more, in football in general between Japan and Africa, especially Ghana, so we could develop both sides, in terms of football.
That's awesome. Great stuff there. And I can see you and your folks doing what you can. What do you think about the talent in Ghana football? Not just the Ghana Premier League, but the lower division and the kids who are always playing. It's quite different from Japan. Kids just don't run around, or the Netherlands. They don't just run around any corner to play. But here, it's quite rampant.
Yeah. I mean, but still, that I think sport is it starts from entertainment. How to enjoy yourself. So I love how the kids are enjoying the sport itself. And that's how talents grow. And looking from the grassroots level, I love how they're enjoying themselves in football. And I see a lot of talents, especially compared to the Asian countries. There's a lot of physical talents here. And it's a matter of the opportunity now. It's a matter of how we develop correctly, and then we expose them to different environments. So that's why I'm here, to give more exposure, and hopefully in the really near future I can bring from Japan and from Japan to Africa and from Japan to Africa.
The other way around.
Yeah, the other way around as well.
We'll talk about how Japan have closed the gap. Back in the day, Ghana versus Japan, you could, you ask what was the score line, or rather, how much did Ghana win by? It's changed, and we'll find out how and why that's changing. Bob is on the line from Ebusua. Hi, Bob, are you there? Yes.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
I'm calling from Ebusua. I'm watching the program.
Okay, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I really like the Japanese striker. He's very good.
Mm-hmm. He's here. Talk to him.
Yeah, and I want to say this to the Phobia boys, the players. We really want to make. Yeah, I'm saying this to the Phobia boys.
Phobia, okay.
Yeah, the players. If they really want to make history for themselves, they should back up.
Oh, if they want to take the league, they should back up. That's Hearts of Oak players?
Yeah, they should be serious. If they want to make history for themselves, they should take the league serious.
Don't you think they've been playing very well? They're unbeaten in their last 7. That's quite a remarkable one. 5 wins.
But it's not over yet.
Right.
You have and to got the 4 Olympics and big cloud chasing you.
Okay. All right, thanks. Caller just not far from here, from Ebusua. He's saying Hearts of Oak players should sit up. I think they're doing very well. Obviously, you can't win all your matches.
Exactly. They have sat up. They have changed momentum. They've changed character. They are playing so well. They are listening to their coach. And House of Folk is the best team now, the most informed team. Now, you look at when Bodie took over, they have changed everything around them. And that's why they are seated on top of the Ghana Premier League. But there's also 2 teams, Olympics and Medium, are giving Kotoko and House of Folk, around for their money, a good chase. And you love the chase. Mediama are just 4 points behind those 2 teams. It means that if Mediama could stop House of Folk next Sunday, they are just within a point between them and House of Folk.
There it is. The table does not lie.
And Olympics there.
Evans is on the line. Let's find out what he has to say. Hi, Evans. You're welcome to the show.
Yeah, boss man. Swinging from Sweden.
Sure. How are you doing?
Anyway, that this contract of Fabio Gama can play for Ghana.
If Fabio Gama can do what?
Can play for Ghana national team.
Fabio Gama should play for Black Stars?
Yeah, I'm just asking, a way that he can play for Black Stars.
Oh, you think he's good enough?
Yeah, he's good enough to play, because when you get those guys like, Austin Adoy in Ghana, I'm talking to you went to President President Akufo-Addo, to do some one-to-one to him.
All right. Thanks for that. He's fair. He has a right to think.
He's 28 years old, Gama, and it would be difficult for him to
break
switch
into
allegiance.
Right.
I don't see him play for Ghana. It's not possible.
That's an interesting one. We weren't expecting that, but what do you think? National team, playing for the national team is a dream for every player. But
Absolutely.
players can now switch allegiance, depending on where they want to play. You think that's cool?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's always cool, but, playing for the team playing for the country isn't a really easy thing, It's always, you need luck, quality, you need to have, opportunity to represent your country. So, I mean, but switching countries, like if you have affection to a certain country, I think it's worth considering. But I'm not sure. I need to ask Gama if he wants to switch nationality to Ghana or Brazil. But yeah,
do ask him. Okay, Sheikh Ibrahim is on the line. Hi, Sheikh.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, please, how are you?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
I'm also doing good, alhamdulillah.
Right. So, Prof is here. So is Jindo. What do you have to tell them?
Please come again.
Yeah. What do you have to say, Sheikh?
Yeah. Actually, I'm a strong supporter of Accra as a folk, and then looking at the way things are going on, we are praying that House of Folk will win the league, and then we also thank the coach very much because I love the way he plays. He's tactical. Anytime he makes a substitution, you try to know that he's up to something.
Right.
So we are all praying that House of Folk wins the league this season. Thank you so much.
Right. Before you go, are you enjoying the league so far? The intensity on Star Times?
I am enjoying the Ghana Premier League 100%. I called Star Times this afternoon. I called Star Times this afternoon.
Right.
I called them this afternoon to congratulate them that what they are doing is the best.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's great. Thank you very much.
They will drop now.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, it's good to get positive words. The negative, the criticism is okay. We can accept it, but it's also good that the fans, that's why we're here, are happy and enjoying the league.
I mean, also, we've not had such a TV coverage like this before in the history of Ghana football. I mean, 4 matches every week, and the kind of production we do. Yes, we are human beings. We go wrong. Sometimes cameramen, commentators, technical hitches, we do go wrong, and we accept those criticisms. That is why we are human beings, and we will grow away from there. If you see the EPL, and it's so nice for you to watch, they made so many mistakes.
It took a while. So
we will get there. Commentators, production-wise, but we are giving them the best, and I'm happy he has noticed it. Now, for the FA, they're also giving us the best.
Yeah, a quick one. Let's go to Kumasi, where Richard is on the line. Hi, Rich.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Oh, I think we've lost him. Yeah, yes. I mean, you're making a point.
Yes, and you see, I mean, it's not easy for you to bounce back after so many years when Ghana Premier League has not been like this. I mean, we've gone through a whole lot of problems. This time around, just look at it. We've gone through a season where there have not been agitations, court problems, injunctions here and there. We've had a solid season. So thumbs up to the FA. They are human beings, and sometimes I know they will go wrong. Sometimes when we also, talk about certain things, we might be a little bit more harsh. But in all, let us all be one. Ghanaians love to talk about the negative aspect here. There's been so much positive this season that we must talk about in terms of TV viewership and the coverage, the FA putting up right, structures where we've not had breaks in between seasons. Now, for the first time, national team is playing and the league is ongoing. We've not had all this, in a while. So let's cherish our own. It's the only league that matters. Commentators, TV coverage, the FA, they all make mistakes. But we will grow from there.
Awesome. We'll grow from there. And Ezekiel is on the line from DC. Hi, Ezekiel.
Hi. I'm really enjoying the show, and I will say that we've done a lot in our league this season.
Excellent. We appreciate that. Yeah.
I've enjoyed the coverage, and to have a Japanese in our league, to have a Brazilian in our league, it just shows us how our league is going and how far we can go as a country with our football. So it's just exciting. And if you also look at the point gap between the top to bottom, it shows how competitive it has been this season. So I think there's room for improvement, but it has been exciting.
Awesome. Thanks very much. It's good to have that. As Jude was saying, Jindo, the most important thing for the fans who cannot be in the stadium is to get good coverage, and that's what we're trying to do. And it takes time. You know, there are issues, but we don't deliberately bring you anything bad, and we're trying to hit 110%. Even 100% is not good enough for us. We want to go over the bar and, inside the net. But, you know, get beyond what we're expected to do, and we'll certainly improve our coverage. I'm sure when you're not playing and there's an opportunity for you, you do also watch the matches to, catch up. Yeah. How are you finding it so far?
Yeah. For now, I watch. I keep myself updated through YouTube's, because there's highlights going on there. But I really respect and appreciate how you guys are running the show and keep the supporters around all over the country updated. And that's how I think the football and everything's develop, in a certain country. So, yeah.
Awesome. Let's see who's on the line. Another call. Hi, Sam. Is that Sam?
Yeah, this is Sam from Pokwasi.
Hi, Sam. What's up?
Yeah, fine. Yes. I want to make a contribution.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I want to ask a question to the coach and then a question to the player.
Okay,
yes,
go ahead.
Yes, I want to ask the coach, in his estimation, who does he think, or which team does he think will win the league? Honestly, I want an honest answer.
All right.
And also to the player. How did he feel when his country beat Ghana 5-4-1 or so?
Right.
Yes. How did he feel? And also,
it's okay. You said two, so it's okay. Thank you very much, Coach Jude. Very quickly, what do you think?
Well, he's trying to ask House of Folk Kotoko, who probably, in my opinion, will win the league. Yeah, it's difficult. You look at the fixtures. I think Kotoko has much more easier matches to play if they're able to win all.
If I give you 1 hour, you give me analysis. So we'll come back to this on Thursday. Jindo, our time is up, but before he's asking you about obviously how it is like as a player and also the competitiveness of the league so far.
Very competitive, and I'm enjoying myself here. Hopefully, I'll be starting to score more, score goals and contribute more. And I'm enjoying myself.
Awesome, Jindo Morishita, Japanese national player for Ebusua Dwarfs, and Coach Jude Acheampong as well. Don't forget, at 6, we'll be bringing you Morocco versus the Black Stars of Ghana on Max TV. Let's enjoy that game. That will be coming up later in the day. Jude will be back to join us for that international friendly. And indeed, we'll try and bring you as many of the Black Stars friendly matches and upcoming matches against Korea and the rest. We'll let you know when those are happening. Do get yourself a Star Times decoder as well. It's not too late. Now is as good a time as any. Thanks for joining us. Bye for now.
Max TV, sports, entertainment, and more.
Through a dedication to design, a unique experience is born. When light hits the surface, no trace of glare appears on the low reflection flat screen.